I will support and defend.
Kamala Harris made history as the first woman and first person of color to serve as Vice President of the United States. But her time in office has earned her mixed reviews, as some see her as a lackluster advocate for President Joe Biden's agenda. But with the 2024 election now looming and Biden set to announce his bid for re-election, Reuters White House correspondent Jeff Mason says Harris isn't going anywhere.
President Biden picked Vice President Harris for a reason. He promised to choose a woman and a Black woman, and that reason hasn't changed, even though Democrats are not all entirely happy with how the first couple years of her performance in office has gone. They still need, and he still needs, to have that symbolism and those voters that she helped bring to Biden's coalition, Black voters, women voters. He needs that in 2024 as well. It would be almost unprecedented to drop a vice president and choose somebody else for re-election or a re-election campaign. And all of the reporting that I have done has suggested that that's not even under consideration.
Democrats who spoke to Reuters, including some who work in or have worked in Biden's West Wing, expressed disappointment about the vice president's first 2 years in office. Mason explains.
Some of the complaints that I heard, and these were from fellow Democrats, include that she doesn't necessarily rise to the occasion, that she isn't seen as someone who takes things off of President Biden's plate. The issue of immigration from the 3 Central American countries that she was tasked with by the president, that has become a lightning rod, or helped make her a lightning rod for Republicans, for whom immigration is a particularly important issue. The pushback that I've heard from her office and from her allies include the role that she played in the 2022 election, highlighting the issue of women's reproductive rights and abortion.
This is the first time in the history of our nation that a constitutional right has been taken from the people of America.
One source told me in particular that having her out front as sort of the main spokesperson on it did take something off his plate and ended up having an impact.
Mason says the president's advanced age has also brought Harris under more scrutiny.
Because her launch, as it were, has not gone exceptionally well, that's one reason Democrats are a little concerned that she's his running mate, because unlike some previous administrations where there's always a chance that something happens to the president and the vice president would have to take over. But in this case, with someone at Biden's advanced age, the possibility is even greater that she might have to take over. And that's a concern. And it's a concern for people who don't feel she's done super well. There is at least some frustration from the West Wing and perhaps from Biden himself that she hasn't shined more. And that's on their radar. And that's something that we'll probably see her try to fix and her people try to fix over the next 2 years. But there is a little bit of a cloud, and her people bristle at that, but it's a reality. And that's something that the Republicans will no doubt try to take advantage of as well.